In our minds, there's something truly powerful, like an invisible force that shapes the way we experience life. It's the nature of positivity and the profound impact it has on how we feel. You know, a positive thought isn't just any old thought. It's got a certain grace, a protective shield that keeps us from falling into the traps of obsession. Unlike those negative thoughts that seem to pop up like weeds in a garden, growing and taking over, positive thoughts don't demand your constant attention. They don't cling to you, tugging at you like a nagging child. They're like a quiet friend who doesn't need to talk all the time but is always there when you need them. It's pretty wild when you think about it. Our minds are like the architects of our experiences, right? They shape our reality. And this isn't just some feel-good concept, it's real. There's this flow of energy coursing through us, and when we get tangled up in negative thoughts, it disrupts that flow. It's like a traffic jam inside your body. Everything gets backed up, and it starts to mess with your well-being. Even modern medicine gets it. They acknowledge the link between our mental state and our physical health. Most people, at the very least, can agree that having good thoughts is better than the alternative. Think about it. Negative thoughts are like uninvited guests that just won't leave. They grow, multiply, and spread like wildfire. One bad thought snowballs into another, and before you know it, you're stuck in a storm of negativity. Your body feels it too. Ever been so stressed or caught in a loop of bad thoughts that your muscles tighten, your stomach knots, and your head starts pounding? That's your body saying, "Hey, something's off." It's a clear reminder of how tightly our mind and body are connected. When one is out of sync, the other feels it too. But then, on the flip side, there are positive thoughts. They don't crave attention the way negative ones do. They're like a steady flame, glowing gently, without demanding to be seen or heard. Positive thoughts don't need to multiply endlessly. They don't want to take over our minds. They're happy just being there, guiding us along like a signpost pointing to something better. Think about a thought like life is beautiful. Simple, right? It's not a grand declaration. It's just a nudge, a reminder that there's good out there, and that's enough. Positive thoughts don't try to overwhelm you. They don't come in a flood, drowning you in their message. They're just little glimpses of light, little whispers that remind you of the good stuff. Now, let's dive into how we can shift those negative thoughts into something more positive. It's not just about replacing one thought with another. It's about realizing there's something deeper at play here. Positive thoughts, while great, don't set you free. Real freedom comes when you find a place beyond thought itself. That's where true liberation lies. Not in the thoughts that come and go, but in the quiet space where they don't even need to exist. You ever stop and think about how negative thoughts seem to demand your attention, like they're just waiting for you to latch onto them? It's like they need you to stay unconscious so they can spread and multiply, keeping you stuck. It's almost like a mental virus. You identify with it, give it your attention, and next thing you know, it's taken over. These thoughts can act like persistent little bugs that invade your mind, finding a cozy spot and sticking around for a lifetime. And here's the crazy part. They don't just stop at you. These mental viruses can creep into entire groups, societies, religions, even political movements. They spread like wildfire, turning everything in their path into something twisted, something unrecognizable. Here's the thing, though. Good intentions on their own aren't enough to shift your thinking. You can have the best intentions in the world, but if there's no shift in consciousness, those good vibes can actually make things worse. It's like trying to fix a leaky faucet with a Band-Aid. It's not going to hold. Once these mental viruses take root, they don't just sit quietly. They cause real damage, sometimes leading to things you'd never imagine. But here's the silver lining. Wisdom comes when we realize that true freedom isn't found in fixing every single thought. It's found by transcending thought altogether. Positive thoughts? They're great. They help guide us. But real liberation? That's found when you can rise above the noise, above the constant hum of thoughts. That's when you really get to see the world clearly, untangled from the mental web. Once you understand this, the chaos of your mind starts to make more sense, and you start seeing the tricks that those mental viruses try to play. Like a virus that runs its course, it eventually burns itself out, and sanity slowly starts creeping back in. It may not be perfect, but it's a far cry from the extreme unconsciousness that gripped you when those negative thoughts had free rein. When people fall victim to these mental viruses, the way they see the world gets all messed up. It's like putting on a pair of glasses that distort everything you look at. You start seeing things not as they are, but through the filter of whatever mental infection has taken hold. Take the internet, for example. Oh man, it's a breeding ground for these kinds of thoughts. You get hit with one of those too good to be true articles, and before you know it, it's taken root in your brain, coloring the way you see the world. You can see this clearly in the world of conspiracy theories. Sure, there's some truth in there somewhere, but for the most part, it's a tangled mess of fiction built on cultural paranoia. Sometimes I look around and think, wow, this world can be pretty nuts, especially when it comes to politics. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying there aren't conspiracies or strange things happening, but here's the deal. Diving into the web of conspiracies just keeps you stuck in that same unconscious cycle. You don't want to fight fire with fire. To make a real impact, you have to rise above the chaos and embody a consciousness that's higher than the unconscious patterns running rampant in the world. Choosing positive thoughts is a great first step, but there's more to it. We need to move beyond thoughts altogether, to a space where we're not just playing around with our thinking, but where we can step back and watch it all unfold from a higher place. When we get to that point, we notice something magical. Those negative thoughts, they start to lose their power. They start to fade as we become more present, more grounded in the moment. Positive thoughts, while awesome, become almost like background noise. They just come and go naturally, without effort. And before you know it, you're not so attached to them anymore. This is where you start seeing life through a different lens. Not because you're forcing yourself to see things positively, but because you're directly experiencing it in the here and now. It's all about being present. That's why I talk so much about gratitude. It's not just about saying thank you for the big things. It's about recognizing the beauty in the little stuff too. When you express gratitude, it doesn't just change your mind. It grounds you. It helps you stay here, in this moment. The simple things, like the way light dances on water, or the little bubbles that float up to the surface, they start to become beautiful in ways you wouldn't have noticed before. Gratitude is a gateway to presence, and presence is where the real magic happens. Gratitude isn't just a thing you say, it's a way of being. It's like a living, breathing force that moves through you, infusing every part of your life with a sense of presence. At first, yeah, it might feel like a practice, something you have to consciously remember to do, like an item on a to-do list. But over time, gratitude becomes second nature, like a companion you don't have to think about anymore, always by your side, guiding you toward a deeper connection with life itself. It's not just about thanking the universe for the little things, either. It's about seeing the world through the lens of presence, truly being in the moment. When you start to shift your awareness, everything around you, every leaf, every shadow, every whisper of wind, becomes a vital part of your spiritual journey. At first, it's like stepping into a new world, but soon, it's the only world you know. When we talk about spiritual awakening, most people hit a turning point where they suddenly realize they've been tangled up in negative thoughts for years. It's like waking up from a fog, and for the first time, you see clearly. You've spent so much time wrapped up in your mind, identifying with every thought that popped in, that you didn't realize you weren't the thoughts. You were the one watching them. That moment is the start of something big, something beautiful, a shift that changes everything. The trick is recognizing those thoughts, the ones that have shaped your life and your perceptions of people. the world, and even yourself. It's almost like looking at an old map of your life and seeing where you've been, but also seeing where you're going. And when you start to see your thoughts for what they truly are, just passing clouds, not truths, you're no longer a prisoner to them. You become the observer, the watcher. It's not about pushing away the negative stuff or pretending to think only positive thoughts. It's about realizing the power your thoughts have over you. And once you see that power, you can step outside it. It's like flipping a switch. Suddenly, you have more control. You're no longer on autopilot. You can pause, take a breath, and make a conscious choice. That's when the magic happens. Imagine presence as this soft, warm light that starts shining into the darkest corners of your mind. It's there, not to chase away the shadows, but to illuminate them, giving you clarity. With presence, you become aware of the now. Right here, right now. No past, no future, just this moment. And in this moment, the past doesn't control you, and the future doesn't drag you into worry. You let go of all those old patterns, the ones that feed negativity and keep you stuck in old loops. You can finally breathe. The best part? The more you practice being present, the more you start to notice your thoughts, all your thoughts. And you can decide, right then and there, whether they belong to you or if it's time to let them go. It's like getting a backstage pass to your own mental show. You see what's going on behind the curtain, and with that awareness, you can start rewriting the script. Presence isn't just a magic trick to fix negative thinking. It's the antidote to it. It's not a one-time thing either. It's an ongoing process, a shift in consciousness. As you become more present, you start to notice the little things, the beauty in the mundane, the way sunlight dances on water, or how the world smells after it rains. And that's when things get real. That's when life feels richer, fuller, more alive. I've realized that as I keep practicing presence, as I keep digging deeper into this journey, it's becoming clearer and clearer. The depth of our connection to the present moment is the heartbeat of our conscious existence. And once you start to really live in that space, you'll see that everything is connected, and that awareness itself is the most powerful tool we have to change our lives. Presence isn't just a technique or a temporary fix. It's the foundation of everything. It's the root that nourishes everything else. It's where freedom lies. And once you get a taste of it, there's no going back. You know, in my own journey, I've come to realize something that's hard to put into words, but undeniable once you feel it. The times when I've truly been in the moment, present, and fully engaged, those have been the moments when peace just washed over me. Clarity hit like a lightning bolt, and I felt like I finally understood what my purpose was. It's like the world suddenly makes sense, and all the noise fades away. When we choose to live with more awareness, when we make that commitment to show up right here, right now, not only does our reality shift, but the world around us starts to change too. Every time you really tune in, every time you truly see what's in front of you, it's like you light a spark that can ignite something in others. It's a ripple effect, one act of presence at a time. But here's the kicker. This transformation, it's not some one-off event. Nope, it's a constant thing. It's a journey, not a destination. Staying present day after day helps peel back the layers of conditioning that have kept us stuck in old patterns, limiting us. Slowly, we start to understand who we really are, not who we've been told we should be. It's like the fog clearing and the path finally opening up. And as we wrap up, I want to leave you with something. Deep within you, there's an entire universe of possibility waiting to unfold. Seriously, think about it. When you commit to living with intention and presence, it's like you unlock a door to your fullest potential. And you know what happens next? You inspire others to step through that same door, showing them they can do it too. You become a light in their lives just by choosing to be fully present in yours. So, embrace this journey, my friend. Go at it with courage, with persistence, and above all, with a rock-solid belief that you've got everything you need to not just survive, but thrive. This, right here, is your invitation to be the best version of yourself, to live with meaning, purpose, and love. If this video spoke to you, I'd love for you to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Share this message with others who might need a little reminder of their own power. And hey, drop a comment below. Let me know how this journey is going for you. What's been helping you stay present? Thanks again for being here, for sharing this space with me. Take care, and I'll see you soon.